You know, I just cannot seem to keep a knife clean. I just took this apart and cleaned it all up. I'm going to put that at the end of this video. I just take the whole thing apart, clean it up, put it back together. But then, no shit, just 2 days later, one of my daughters spilled hot chocolate all over it. So it's just been rinsed off with water. But I did want to talk about this Civivi Mini Praxis. I got this knife. This was my first Civivi I got almost a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's D2 steel, G10 handles. This thing is rock solid. It is, in my opinion, for the $30, it's the best knife I've ever spent $30 on. Hands down. There isn't another knife out there. I've had lots of knives for the $20, $30, $40 range, and this Civivi operates the best, is made of better quality material, it's better built. It's just overall, I mean, the ceramic ball bearings in it, I show those at the end of the video. Those cute little ceramic ball bearings that are in here, making this thing glide open. Even after having hot chocolate spilled on it. Not just spilled on it, but it spilled on it, and then it sat and dried on it. And all I did is rinse it off with water, and it's still pretty smooth. I don't think the hot chocolate actually got in the ball bearings. So, for the $30 price, I mean, I think they are $30. I'm pretty sure they're about 30 bucks. This Mini Praxis is just the perfect entry-level knife. I don't think you can beat it. I'm going to try a few brands. So maybe that's another thing on this video. It'll be dual purpose. Not only do I want you to see, you know, the Civivi Mini Praxis for those of you that are just researching the Mini Praxis here, which yes, for 30 bucks, pull the trigger, go buy it right now. But also, what suggestions do you have in the $20, $30, $40 range for an entry-level knife? Just if you were to tell some kid, you know, some 18, 19-year-old kid asking you about a knife, what's a good one to get into? A lot of the times it's not easy to convince somebody to spend $60 or $70 or $80 on a knife. But if you can tell them, you know, something for $30, around $30, what would you tell them? Not only what would you tell them, but what would you suggest to me? I want to try out some more knives in the like $30 to $60 range. Less than 60, somewhere around 30. I don't care what the bottom of the barrel is, but I mean, I'll try out a $10 knife if it is worth every bit of that $10, or if it exceeds it. In my opinion, this Civivi Mini Praxis, for the quality of build and the quality of materials, I think for $30, this is a steal. I would pay $40 for this knife. I would probably pay, I don't know if I'd pay more than like 45, because my everyday carry, this was my everyday carry for everything for a while, at work and at home. I just loved it. But I have since replaced it. This is now my work knife, the Civivi Elementum. It's really hard to beat this. It has a little bit superior, I mean, it still has the G10 handles, but it has Nitro V, which just holds a little bit better edge. And this thing, all I do is tune this up on some ceramic rods once or twice a week. But I do use the crap out of it. I don't know if you can see the wear right there, the wear right there. It's got some wear and tear down here. I take this knife apart. I took this knife apart the same time I took this one apart and just cleaned them up. And I'm sure that this one, with all the dust and dirt around the job site, I'll bet this one's already due for another cleaning, and it's only been 4 days, maybe 5 days. But yeah, as far as a little bit, you know, a step up from the $30 to about the $65, $70 price range, the Elementum 2 by Civivi is definitely worth what they're asking for it. I wouldn't pay much more than about, you know, 90 bucks for this knife, but for the step up from the entry level, I mean, a lot of people still consider under $100 budget. Maybe. I don't know if I agree with that. I think budget, I mean, when I think budget, I think high quality knife in the $30 to $40 range. When I think a little bit higher end, I think in the $60 to $100 range. And then above that is out of my price range altogether. I I have a fixed blade that is worth a little over $100. Well, I might have a few fixed blades that are worth a little over $100, some K-bars and some Camellias. But anything over $100 is a little bit beyond my price range. And I've never felt the necessity to spend more than this, $65. This does every single thing I need it to. And it's a button lock, so I can sit there and fidget with it all day long. Flip it open and flip it closed. It's hard to do that on camera. My wrist is usually out a little farther. Woo! So yeah, I do like that this one has the little lanyard holes, and I did put a lanyard on this for a little while, for about a month, until it got really greasy and grimy one day when I was rolling around underneath the truck. So there you go. This video is supposed to be mostly about the Mini Praxis. As far as an entry-level knife, I don't think I've ever seen one better than this. Of course, I haven't seen every knife in the world, but I have purchased a lot of knives for around $30 or $40, and this beats the shit out of all of them. All right, I'm gonna take this Praxis Mini apart and get it cleaned up. I've got this little set of screwdrivers or screw bits that I purchased on Amazon. I better take the clip off first. Not sure if those run all the way through on the clip. I don't think they do. Maybe I can leave the clip on this one. I think I can. In fact, I'm going to close the blade. It's a little easier to get some of these things without the blade sticking out. Oh yeah, there's so much dirt and grime coming out of that. I carried this thing at work for a long time. Ooh, so much dirt. Some of that just might be the Loctite flaking off of there. All right, got those 4 main screws out. Take this body apart. Oh, look how dusty, dirty, and grimy that is. Yep, it definitely needed a good cleaning. I'm gonna leave these in place so I don't, oh, I mean, they only go in one way. I guess it doesn't really matter. There are those ball bearings, those little ceramic bearings. Yeah, I'm gonna give this thing a good lube job. Oh yeah, look at all that dirt and grime. Not a bad idea to take your knives apart every once in a while and get all that dust and dirt and grime out of there and get them running like new. That's all it is, just that blade right there. Oh, let me go grab a rag and some cleaners. I don't think I need to be blasting this off with brake parts cleaner or anything, but oh, you know what? If I want to take this scale off, then I've got to take the clip off. Oh, and the clip holds that in. So yeah, I will be taking the clip off. Both of those had Loctite. Well, yeah, both of them did. You know, I suspect all of them did. Yep. So that one that I said didn't have Loctite on earlier, it actually does have Loctite. It's just over to one side. And I do have blue Loctite here at my shop, so it's a good thing I'm at my shop because I don't think I have any at home. I might somewhere in a range bag, in a gun bag. But for now, there you go. You've got. Let me get these two knives out of the way. I'm going to be taking this Elementum apart. So for the Civivi Mini Praxis, we've got the blade, the bearings, and then this is the pivot pin. And then these two rollers is in there. It does not want to come out. But it will. So this is in there kind of tight, but we're going to get it. We might have to push it. Oh, not with that one. That'll mess up the threads. There we go. So we're going to clean all this stuff up. There's the scales. So those two go on that side, these two on that side, and then the clip and the screws for the clip go over here. There you go. There's all the pieces to a Mini Praxis. Now we can confirm for sure that there are ceramic ball bearings in there. All right, so I just have, since I am in a mechanic shop, I have a bag of rags. I just cut a small piece. I'm just going to wipe all the dust and dirt off of all these pieces. I might take some brake parts cleaner to get some of this, whatever residue. I'm not even sure what residue that is. Might be from like duct tape or something, or Gorilla Tape. Clean some of these surfaces to a new shine. Yeah, I'm going to need it on a few of these surfaces. I'm going to take that out into the shop, out of my office, and do that. I'm not going to take any harsh chemicals to the G10 scales. I'm just going to wipe those down. So yeah, I guess I'll be right back. We're going to go spray these down and wipe them off. And then we'll start putting some lube where we need to put lube, and some Loctite where we need to put Loctite. All right, we are back from huffing brake parts cleaner out in the shop. Just a few drops, teeny tiny drops. I am not 100% sure what this is. I get it from a vendor, but it is knife and gun oil, and it works really well. I use it around the shop on a few different things. Some tools, my ratchet wrenches especially, and then here on knives. But I want to put it back the way it was, and this is how. Nope, it was the other direction. Holy cow. So yes, we're going to put that back. Oh, the bearing fell out. Well, that's easy enough to fix. We'll just put the bearing on the pivot first, and the blade gently on. Then wipe these spacers out. Put them back in where they went. I think one of these had a certain direction they went in. No, they take the same size screw. Never mind. So they are identical. They can go in either direction. All right, now we're going to do some Loctite. Very, very gently do some Loctite. I'm going to put just a touch in there, touch in there, and a touch right there. Holy crap, that's a lot. Okay, I don't want any of that Loctite to come out of there, so I'm going to just take some of it off. Easy enough, huh? Just touch it to the rag and it's gone. Make sure we're not cross-threading anything. I'm not going to tighten it up all the way just yet. Just a little bit snug. There. Now everything's snapped back together really well. And get these two screws in. I'm going to put just a, see on that other side, I should have waited to put the thread lock stayed in there. Slide the liners out just to say a hair. There and there. I'm going to wipe some of that off because it got right there on the edge of the liners. Okay. That's not my tool. That's my tool. And taking this apart and seeing that all the hardware was Loctited in place, that's just shows the attention to detail and that one does take a little bit of thread lock. Yeah, the attention to detail and the attention to quality. Just, I mean, it means a lot having a little bit of thread lock in there. I don't know how many cheap knives I've purchased and had had the hardware fall out because it wasn't Loctited in. In fact, I've got a knife in the top of my toolbox that it was a cheap gas station knife, and I really liked it, so I went back and bought a couple more of them. But the hardware came out of one of them. It really bugs me because I mean, not anymore, but I never use that knife anymore. But for I bought like 3 of the exact same knife, so for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I did use that knife, or one of the 3. I do still have one of the 3. One of them broke. The blade itself just snapped because, well, most likely because it's a cheap Chinese knife that I bought at a gas station. Now I can do that on Temu or even Amazon. Okay, those 2 are definitely tight enough. Now we'll just tighten up everything else on this body. Yep, definitely have to tighten this one up just a hair. Oh, it can probably be tightened up all the way. You just don't want to get it so tight that Yeah, see, that's just a little too tight. Back that off just a hair. It's about 1/8 of a turn. If you tighten it up too much, you can crush your bearings in there. I'm thinking that is probably good. Got a nice tight blade, 0 wobble. Everything's back together exactly right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.